Today's video is about why two carbon atoms can make a quadvalent bond. If we study covalent bondings, we can see many type of bondings like single, double and triple bonds, but we don't know why there are no tetravalent or quadvalent bonds. In the first and the second series of periodic table, two atoms of the same element can bond according to their valencies to fill their octet. But carbon cannot do that. Unlike nitrogens, chalcogens and halogens, diacarbon cannot form an fully occupied octet. The higher members of the group 14 elements of the carbon family cannot make multivalent bonds due to their huge molecular sizes. Still, even after being rare, serines and silynes do exist. Back to our main topic, why carbon-carbon single bond, double bond and triple bonds exist, but why the quadvalent bonds does not exist. This is explained here. Our first point is the electron-electron repulsion force. We know that electrons are negatively charged particles. As all electrons are negative and charged in same amounts, they do repulse each other. In double bond, the repulsion is even more as two pairs of electrons are participating in the bond. For triple bonds, it's even more, making alkynes highly flammable. Now imagine how much repel would 4 pairs do? The amount should be much more. According to the calculation based on law of Coulomb and other laws of electrochemistry, the repulsion would be 16 times more than what a single pair of electrons does. The second point we have is steric hindrance or steric strain. Every quantum particle has some quantum size and needs some space, same for the atoms and the molecules. This is also a reason behind the relative stability of cis-trans isomer. There are some difficulties while putting 4 pairs of electrons in a such small place. Third point, the direction of orbitals. Carbon has 4 electrons in its valence shell. 2 of them are in the p orbital. Now the p orbital has 3 subshells in it. So one orbital could directly form a bond and others two can create a pi bond, but the another orbital, which is the opposite sided orbital, cannot take part in the bonding. Besides, the quadvalent bond would require 2 sigma bonds, which is not theoretically possible. In case of diacarbon, there are 2 pi bonds without any sigma bonds. This is an exception which is only applicable for carbon. Besides catenation ability, this is also a property which makes carbon extremely unique. Coming to our fourth point, the molecular orbital theory. If we calculate the bond order of the diacarbon or the carbon atom, we can see it's 2. By 2, I don't mean 2 values, I mean the value is 2. I won't say the pi bond sigma bond thing again. Coming to our fifth point, bond dissociation energy. If we compare the bond strengths, we could get some insights. Here you can see a list of some bond dissociation energies of some carbon-carbon bonds. Hypothetically, we can assume the quadvalent or tetravalent bond would be weaker than we expected. Electron-electron repulsion force, steric hindrance, and molecular orbital theory could explain it. The sixth point is structural support. Single bond is much stronger than the other bonds, which creates such incredibly strong covalent bonded materials as diamonds. Even graphite has a sublimation point of 3700 kelvins. So why would it want to stay as a gas? That's enough for today. We will meet again in the next video.